So recently I was rewatching The Sopranos with my Guma for the millionth time because it's the greatest goddamn show to ever exist. Meet me outside the Bing if you want to fight about it. And because my brain is very weird, and maybe because I had too much Primitivo that night, I also started to think of a recent comment on a video I did. The one about this soy-sucking Riccion, who made a very progressive woke game about how Lovecraft is literally Hitler, but they don't care, they just want the money because, to quote another Fanuc developer of that game, Cthulhu sells. The comment went, "It's more than that. By taking established heroes, they can twist them to their image and then present their ideology through that hero. The characters are established and normies are not going to notice the subversion. But it is there, subverting them to new thinking and making them more woke. Problem is, they don't get the reality of the situation, so they end up destroying the characters and franchises." And this concept, this idea that the public image of the mythos could be tainted, and what is considered to count as quality Lovecraftian material to us Lovecraftians, and what is Lovecraftian in the eyes of the eternal normie, well, this idea mixed with this scene I remembered so well from The Sopranos.
How do we miss out on this? What? Fucking espresso, cappuccino. We invented this shit, and all these other cocksuckers are getting rich on it.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
And it's not just a money, it's a pride thing. All our food, pizza, calzone, buffalo mozzarella, olive oil. These fucks had nothing. They ate puzzi before we gave them the gift of our cuisine. But this is the worst, this espresso shit.
See, to me, I think of the mythos as untouchable. A stone wall of cyclopean masonry which nothing could touch, but I'm always welcome to other opinions. So, pop culture depictions of the mythos, the endless merchandising, the game companies which play fast and loose by simply adding in a few tentacle monsters to their game, and not to mention the perversion of Lovecraft stories by these fucking mutts who aren't fit to shine Lovecraft's shoes.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Are these things actually hurting the mythos's image, or the mythos itself in the public image? In short, let me voice what you, a longtime Lovecraft fan, are probably thinking. No, obviously not. The mythos is untouchable. Let's be serious. Lovecraft stories are printed verbatim in 1,001 anthologies and compilations, translated into numerous languages, and there is clearly a massive worldwide circle of devoted fans. I mean, just look at us. And the amount of solid writers who contributed to the mythos as early as Clark Ashton Smith up to the present day tales of Thomas Ligotti. These are clear signs that despite all the Cthulhu plushies and questionable video games, the mythos has endured 80 plus years without a scratch. Technically, I guess I could end the video right here. But then, what of Cthulhu plushies, video games that cash grab the Lovecraft moniker, stories that border on the ludicrous and satire? Are these things cheapening, tarnishing the mythos, making the contributions of Lovecraft not only to horror literature, but also philosophical thought lesser? Not really in the end, I think. Look, there is obviously a market for the mythos. Go into any merchandise and comic book store and you'll see a lot of things created from Lovecraft's imaginings, his intellectual property. But every franchise or pop culture mythos is like this. It's just how things are. Then again, there is some phenomena I've seen where so-called spin-offs occur. Products which only keep to the basics of the source material. And there are a lot of fans, from what I've observed, that just enjoy a good bit of RPG action, or who enjoy a good night with friends playing Arkham Horror. Perhaps these people simply enjoy the visual and aesthetic aspects of the mythos without desiring to delve into the philosophical implications of Azathoth or whatever. This leads me to an idea that I've long held, and that is that there are 2 or maybe 3 tiers within the mythos ranked in validity and merit. The first tier is obviously the literature of Lovecraft and certain other weird writers and mythos writers. Included, I would count writers whose tales predate Lovecraft as well. The King in Yellow by Robert Chambers, written in 1895 when Lovecraft was only 5 years old, is a good example. This is the backbone of the mythos. The second tier is more, well, Lovecraft-themed stuff that makes a concerted effort to at least hold the basics of the mythos up, An example would be, in my opinion, games like the Call of Cthulhu, the recent one which came out. I thought it was an excellent game and a good addition to the mythos. The third tier is a little bit more ridiculous, not to be taken so seriously, and not like their deviations in the name of a bit of light-hearted fun should be seen as some sort of heresy. The products are not malicious and they can be honestly enjoyable. It's fine and healthy, I think, to laugh at anything, even what one takes seriously in life. And there are absolutely things in the mythos which can be seen as a little bit goofy if looked at from a certain point of view. And on a personal note, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's also nice and fun to not take the mythos so seriously all the time. For example, recently I was playing Eldritch Horror. I was playing a character called Silas Marsh, and I was stuck in the middle of the ocean and I was confronted by a deep one. All I had to defend myself was a fishing net, 2 guns, and a big canister of kerosene. Add to that fact, I also had amnesia and I was also drunk off whiskey, and then I ended up in a gunfight with a deep one. It's absolutely absurd, but goddamn, I had fun in that game. Is it bad that some people are happy with the lower tiers and don't go for the top tier stuff in the mythos? No, not at all. I'm not the type of person to go piss into someone's cornflakes. Let them enjoy it how they like. A parallel comes to mind as well. There was a time when I wasn't into heavy metal music, but then I began to work in a DVD rental store. We were allowed to play any music DVD in the shop, and the one that I liked most was Linkin Park live in Texas. Now, tell any metalhead that Linkin Park is your favorite metal band and you'll probably be met with this answer.
Son of a bitch! Whoa!
But because of Linkin Park, I eventually picked up other metal bands, more genuine examples, then eventually ended up with black metal bands like Bathory and Dark Funeral. My point is obviously I didn't jump directly into the deep end. I think that the same can apply regarding the mythos and Lovecraft stories. People may start with something as simple as a Cthulhu dice game and end up appreciating the actual stories. In this way, I honestly think that these pop culture products are a good gateway to the literature. Of course, there is a chance that some people who simply like tier 2 and tier 3 level stuff will think that Lovecraftian just means going mad and adding tentacles. But is this really the end of the world? I don't think so. What do you say? And lastly, I must address another issue which is unavoidably coming to mind regarding the potential tarnishing of the mythos. These sanctimonious cocksuckers who simultaneously shit on Lovecraft's legacy while making money off of it because they'd never muster enough creativity to make their own mythos.
Eine Arbeit für richtig Geld. Ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste deines Volkes. Gib du jetzt eine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
So, to paraphrase poorly, does it matter in the end to the mythos? In short, my answer is no. The mythos that Lovecraft started is untouchable, because true fans of Lovecraft and people with the Lovecraftian mentality will always exist, because the human existence will always be the same, and there will always be a sensitive few in the world's population who see the horror in that existence and discover real Lovecraftian horror. And as for people who just enjoy the games and merchandise, let them be. Some of it is pretty good stuff and a good way to spend time. So that's my video and thoughts on the issue. What do you guys think? These examples I showed in this video, do you think it's good that it spreads the word of the mythos, or do you think it just cheapens it? Will the eternal normie and their tendency to just consume popular products without question sideline the actual writings of the old gentleman of Providence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.
If I don't see her.